What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In an effort to get into more indie comics, I'm bringing you guys something that I highly recommend you check out. Promising to be Inglourious Basterds meets Black Sad. This is hopefully going to be the next big war epic. And this is an ongoing series by Rick Remender and Daniel Acuña, dropped into a war zone behind enemy lines, questioning humanity, fighting for survival. This is Escape, issue number 1. Alright guys, so as we get into this comic, it really lays out the groundwork of what's going on here. This is kind of dropping us into a World War II style-esque landscape. And in this landscape, bats are the enemy. Bats are the Nazis. Bats are seeking world domination. This is what picks us up with our bomber crew. After 27 missions, this mission is supposed to be the big day. This is supposed to be a mission that deals a devastating blow to the enemy. And while they fly through the air, we really see them discuss and debate the ethics, the morality, the aspects of war in general. You know what's funny? Reading through this comic, I had a sergeant major once tell me that many of you are gonna walk away from war with a much deeper sense and understanding. You're gonna walk away philosophers because you're gonna spend so much time in guard towers just thinking about the war, the cause and effects, the reality, the delusions, the lies, the truths. You know, and damn near 20 years later, I'm still thinking about that stuff, and it still rings true. In this comic, it really does grasp that idea. It grabs that ideology, and we really see it unfold in these conversations. Because the question really comes down to morality. You know, evil leaders don't necessarily equal an evil population. That we would love to sit here and demonize the bats. Make it seem like they're the most horrible people and things in existence. But it's their leadership. It's the ones in charge that are leading for the slaughter of innocents. Of course, that point can be debated in the terms that soldiers are out there pulling the trigger. That it's not just the brass. It's not just the leadership. The same guys that we're about to drop bombs on. Those are the guys out there trying to kill us. But we see that there is much deeper politics here at play than we would originally think. It appears that some of these bat soldiers, their families are taken prisoner. Their families are threatened with murder, with execution, if they don't join the fight. And so when asked the question to everybody in the crew, what would you do? If they came in, they kicked down your door, put a gun to your head, put a gun to your kid's head, would you join the fight? Or would you resist right there and have your whole family killed? Would you join them in a chance to spare your family and maybe resist later? Maybe rise up at another opportunity? This is the vicious trap of it all. The trap that you can't climb out of. Because once the snowball begins, it's already too late. At that point, it's extremely hard to stop. But before they can continue this conversation, this is where the anti-air begins to come in. Explosions all around them. Ally aircrafts falling out of the sky. A new technology, new stealth missiles, taking them out easily. With enemy fighters coming in, the gunners prepare, they get ready. All hell is breaking loose. Their engines are dying. They're taking damage. The wing is on fire. But as they get in close, they line up their shot, having a visual on the target. At first, they don't launch. Those cannons are boxed in, surrounded by civilians. But having only one shot to end this whole mess, they want to finish it right here, right now. They drop the payload. They drop that payload and those missiles fall. They hit part of the military base, but it also hits the civilian quarters. People huddled in their homes, gone in a blink of an eye. Even worse, they missed the big gun. Fighters are scrambling. If they hang around, they're gonna be shot down. So now they gotta run the odds. They gotta decide what they're gonna do here. This is where Captain Milton decides that they're going back, that they're turning around, as a company of enemy fighters come swarming in. We see that one of our gunners that's also a cat in this, He's giving them hell. He's shredded them to pieces. But even he takes some damage. The truth is, our crew is getting eaten up. One by one, we see them taken out. And by the time that they make it over their target, it's already too late. Damn near everyone in the crew has been wiped out. There's nobody left to drop the bombs. Nobody left to drop the payloads. As Milton screams for anybody alive to abandon ship, he grabs a lieutenant and he throws him out the plane, barely holding on to life, going into enemy territory. He has no idea if his best friend is gonna live or not. Seeing that everybody else is dead, he goes to Magoo, the tail gunner, the cat, and he gave him hell all the way down to his very last life. As we see that he is literally ripped in two. His story comes to an end, and Milton jumps from the plane. He's able to get through the anti-air, but with catching a few strays into his parachute, he's dropping at an accelerated rate. Unable to stabilize, unable to get his bearing, he crashes pretty hard down onto the ground. And now it's a fight for survival, needing to get his head straight. He says that he's got to finish the mission. No clue where he landed, no clue where he's at. But he can hear the soldiers looking for him. He can hear them calling out, saying to find him from where he hides and drag him out, because he's going to answer. The pilot is going to look us in the eyes and answer for every child that he stole from us. And that is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think this is a start to a really awesome story because it's not so simple as good guys and bad guys. We like to try and make war black and white. That the fight I'm fighting, my side has to be the right side. It has to be the just side. Because if I'm not the just side, then I'm the bad guy. I'm the oppressor. You know, when I was in Iraq, I had a conversation with my chaplain. You know, I'm an atheist nowadays, but at the time I was a Christian. And I asked him how it was just. As an infantryman, my job is to find and kill the enemy. How is this justified in God's eyes? And he told me that it is because our war was just, because our reasoning was just. It was righteous. That what we did was to protect, not to do harm, not to oppress, not to hurt, not to conquer. And so in that, there is righteousness. And as I pondered on these words, I thought about my enemy, the country that I invaded, the 19-year-old kid that sees me coming in and killing his uncle, killing his father, a missile landing on his home and killing his entire family. And I ask myself, would I not also become radicalized? Would I not also pick up arms against those that have come into my country and killed those that I love? And I think more than anything, this comic, it makes you have these conversations. Because whether you believe something is righteous or not, whether it is righteous or not, we should always question it. Even if it's the most righteous thing, if we have full belief that this is the most righteous thing we could have done. For example, ending Nazi Germany. I don't think there's anybody that would argue ending the Nazi war was a bad idea. But we still have to question our motives, the way we went about it, how we did it. Did we maintain humanity? Did we just randomly slaughter just for the sake of making sure that we kill the enemy? We must always question it. But the great thing about this comic is that it's more than that. It's definitely action-packed. You know, because while we can sit around and talk about the philosophies of war, the goods, the bads, the pros, the cons, the if we should, if we would, so on and so forth. We can sit here and have debates about it all day long, but in the nitty-gritty, down in the trenches, when those bullets start flying, there's no longer room for reasoning or debate or logic. It is either I'm going home alive or you are. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to check out more indie comics or anything else that we have going on with this channel, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that we have going on with comics in general. Now, if you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. A lot like Patreon, having a bunch of different perks, a bunch of different tiers, it greatly helps us out. But if you're not able to do that, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, liking this video, hitting that notification bell so you're not missing any content we have coming out. And with that being said, until the next breakdown.